Guys, I'm so ready for spring break.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm thinking of going to the beach and working out every day. Well, I work every day, so I'm not gonna have too much time for the beach. And as far as the gym, that's another excuse not to go.
Well, I'm coming back to school with a tan.
Well, I plan on staying home all week watching Netflix, so I'm not really gonna go to the beach, but I can get a spray tan.
I'm going on a family trip to Disney. So I'm actually not going on a trip, but I'm not going to post anything so people actually think I'm away.
Wait, this week is spring break? I didn't know it was spring break this week. I ate so much Chipotle that I'm not going to be able to post bikini pics.
This spring break, I'm just going to be watching Netflix and eating all day.
How do we do it?
I'm not going to lie. I know for a fact that's what the rest of us are going to do.
Up on this week's episode of Riptide,
Miss Sands reveals a side of her that everyone has yet to see.
and Hunter got a recap of the chorus show. Hey South Dade, I'm Joely Soporta.
And I'm Priscilla Perales, and you're watching the 77th episode of Riptide. Sometimes we forget that the teachers standing in front of us have difficulties and problems.
For Miss Sands, her positive outlook was apparent despite her very own personal problems.
Miss Sands shares her story with us.
I've been diagnosed 4 times, and it began in 2003, with my latest relapse being in 2012 when they found another tumor, and I had to get surgery, and I had to get 22 months of chemotherapy and 6 months of radiation to try to get rid of the tumor. But they weren't able to get rid of the entire tumor, so I still live with the tumor.
English teacher Miss Sands fights every day for her students to succeed. This desire comes from a personal 13-year battle with cancer.
When the doctor came in and said that I had cancer, I thought he was lying, and so I wanted a second opinion. And then when I went to another oncologist and they were like, no, you really have cancer, I was like, why are you guys lying to me? Like, that's not cool. And so I got a third opinion, and then finally with a third opinion, I had to accept the fact that I really did have cancer.
After being diagnosed, her perspective on life changed significantly. She now looks at things from a more optimistic view.
I don't take things for granted anymore, and I don't sweat the small stuff. Every day that I wake up, I appreciate the fact that I'm awake and I have another day to live, because lots of people aren't as lucky as myself. And so if I'm feeling great that morning, I just do whatever I want, because life is short and you never know when it's going to go away.
As an attempt to maintain an active lifestyle, it is only natural that somebody battling a long-term illness would take up long-distance running, especially races that support cancer awareness.
I began running in 2006 to just raise awareness for cancer. I did it with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and my first race was actually out in San Diego, California. Just because you have cancer doesn't mean the world is going to end. You can still live your life, you can still have a good time, you can still just be you, but it's how you live your life, it's how you view your life that makes the difference. And I think that if nothing else, I want people to know that there is life beyond your diagnosis, and there's so much to be to happy about and thankful for, and just live your life and smile. And it's like my doctor says, it's mind over matter. The more you think that you're going to make it and the more positive you are, then the chances of you surviving are a lot higher.
Courage, determination, and a positive attitude have helped Miss Sands be stronger than cancer. Reporting for Riptide, I'm Bernadette Cruz.
Last Thursday, the chorus students held their chorus show called The Coffee House.
Hunter was there with a recap.
The Coffee House event is a show produced by the chorus students to showcase the individual talents of the many here at South Dade.
We have a whole bunch of really talented students in our music program, and especially in our choir. Usually our choir class performs as a group, as a whole, but over the course of the fall, in the winter, we discovered that we have a lot of individual talent in the group as well, and so we wanted to create an opportunity for some of those individuals to shine and to be showcased in some way. I think it was something that we kind of discussed as a class, as an opportunity to kind of get everybody involved, and we talked about it for about a week as a possibility. Most of the planning for the process was done by the class. We divided up into committees, and everybody was in charge of a certain aspect of the program, whether it be who was performing and what the setup looked like and the food that was there and all of that. So everybody pitched in, and it turned into a great event.
Preparing for the coffee house was very hectic and very frustrating because when we first had the initial rehearsal, I was the only person who showed up to audition and to try and get into the show. So we tried it again, and only 2 people came, and that was still pretty frustrating. So we had a lot on our plate at that time. We were split up into 4 or 5 different groups. We were one was in charge of food and catering and everything else. One was in charge of performance. Another one was in charge of funding the event and decorating and making sure everything was in order.
With free admission and good food, many look forward to attending these spectacular events. Reporting for Riptide, I'm Hunter Padilla.
Let's go to Nat with the sports highlights of the week.
What's up, Bucks? I'm Natalie Granadillo, and your South Day Sports Update starts now. On this week's Sports Update, your boys varsity baseball team took on Columbus Explorers, defeating them 3-0, with both Alec Manoa and Gio Fernandez with 6 strikeouts. Following up on Tuesday, the Buccaneers took an early lead against Coral Reef with a victory 7-0. During the game, one of the press box members, Daniel Lopez, was unfortunately struck by a foul ball and had to be airlifted to the hospital. We pray for a speedy recovery and hope to see him back soon in the press box. Finally, varsity player Gio Fernandez dominated against Coral Gables with 7 strikeouts and the final score was 6-0. And in other sports, your girls varsity softball team had a doubleheader on Saturday, taking the victory against LaBelle 8-1 and another victory against Coral Glades 5-1. Finally, on Tuesday, they took an early lead victory against Southridge 15-0. Well, that's all for Sports Bucks. I'm Natalie Granadillo. See you in the next episode of Riptide.
On Wednesday night, the South Day senior baseball players had their annual Teacher Appreciation Night. Each senior brought out one staff member that had the biggest impact on them.
It is such an honor, and I'm deeply touched by the fact that what I do is appreciated, because I definitely appreciate the time that we've shared together, and to see the growth of Jason and all the rest of my students this year has been so meaningful.
I was chosen by David Delgado, and I feel very honored. A couple years back, his older brother chose me, and throughout the years, many baseball players have, and I feel very honored to share in this special event of their life and be part of their memories.
I was chosen by Kendrick Pico. He was my student last year. Was a junior, now senior. Doing a fantastic job on the baseball field and outside of it, of course. Feeling great. Feeling extremely highly gratified by this entire experience. It's so rare that you get a chance to, as a teacher, be recognized in some small way. I mean, not that we do it for recognition, but of course, just to be recognized at all feels like manna from heaven.
It was a memorable night for the students and staff members. Reporting for Riptide, I'm Natalie Granadillo.
Hey Priscilla, what are you doing for spring break?
I don't know, probably doing lots of homework. But Carolina went around asking everyone what they're going to be doing this spring break.
After many months of studying and hard work, students are finally getting a break from school. I went around asking students what they have planned for spring break.
Spend time with friends and travel. For the spring break, I might go to the fair and perform. I joined a Mexican traditional dance.
Well, I'm going to hang out with friends, go to the youth fair, and just work.
For spring break, I'm going to be going to Kentucky if my sister has her baby.
For spring break, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to go work. I'm going to help my dad in the boat.
I'm going to go to Water Rapids.
I usually take some time to relax, spend it with the family, the kids, my brothers and parents. This year is a little different. This year I'm going to be moving, so it's going to be a little exciting but stressful as well.
Usually on Sunday, our family goes to the beach on Easter, and that's sort of a tradition of ours that we do.
Oh, I'm gonna go to Rapids. I'm gonna turn up, go to the pool, do homework because teachers don't understand. We need a break.
Reporting for Riptide, I'm Carolina Morantes.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Riptide.
If you want to watch any previous episodes of Riptide, check out bucktv.org.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SDBuckTV.
That's it for today, Bucks. I'm Jorelis.
And I'm Priscilla. Have a great spring break.